Our system deals with assessing athletes' qualifications for various sports. User will be prompted by our system to enter the details of their applications. Then the user will be required to input data to verify athletes' qualifications. Our system will evaluate the total number of athletes, qualified athletes and unqualified athletes based on the information that has been stated.
For this project, there are 5 objectives. First objective, to record the athlete application detail. Second, to evaluate the qualifications of athletes. Third, to calculate the eligible athletes by gender and school. Fourth, to calculate the number of athletes registered by sport category. And the last objective is to calculate the total number of athletes, qualified athletes, and unqualified athletes.
Today, I am excited to present to you an overview of our Sukma 2024 Athlete Registration Program. This C++ program is designed to facilitate the registration process for athletes participating in the Sukma 2024 Games. The program ensures efficient data collection, eligibility verification, and comprehensive reporting. Let's dive into the details of how this program works, its features, and the logic behind it. The program structure. The program begins with the inclusion of essential libraries I/O stream for input and output operations, and I/O money for manipulating output formatting. We use the std namespace to avoid prefixing every standard library function with std::, thereby simplifying our code. Next part is the function declaration. One of the core components of our program is the qualification function. This function checks whether an athlete meets specific eligibility criteria based on residency, age, health status, and school affiliation. It returns a Boolean value indicating whether the athlete is qualified. As we can see here, the main function is the heart of our program. It initializes variables, displays a welcome message, and enters a loop to collect and process athlete registration information. After the main function, we start variable initialization. We start by declaring variables to store athlete details such as name, gender, residency status, age, health status, and school code. Additionally, we declare counters to track the number of athletes by gender, sport category, and school. A Boolean variable repeat controls the loop for repeated registration. Welcome message. Our program then outputs a detailed welcome message using cout and ASCII art. This section also includes a table displaying the number of athletes needed for each sport, enhancing the program's user-friendliness and visual appeal. Next is the main loop. The core functionality resides within a while loop, which continues to run as long as repeat is true. Within this loop, we follow a structured approach to collect and process athlete data. For the user input section, we begin here, which is the line 49 until the line 69. We prompt the user to enter their name, gender, residency status, age, health status, and school code. The cin and getLine functions handles this input. For the qualification check, next we call the qualification function with the collected inputs to determine if the athlete is eligible. Based on the result, we either proceed to the sport category selection or increment the unqualified counter. As you can see here, we include the sport category selection and updates. For qualified athletes, we present the available sport categories and prompt the user to select one. Using a switch statement, we update the relevant sport category counter and ensure the selected category is not already full. We also update the counters for the school and gender based on the athletes' inputs. For the repeat registration prompt, as you can see here, we begin with displaying, do you want to make another registration? Yes or no. After processing each registration, we prompt the user to decide if they want to make another registration. We validate the input and update the repeat variable accordingly. Summary. Once all registrations are complete, we calculate the total number of participants and display a detailed summary. This includes the number of qualified and unqualified participants and the counts of athletes by gender, sport category, and school. The qualification function encapsulates the logic for determining athlete eligibility. It checks each criterion sequentially and returns true if all criteria are met. Otherwise, it returns false. Conclusion. In summary, this program efficiently handles the registration process for Sukma 2024 athletes. It ensures that only eligible athletes are registered, maintains accurate counts of participants by various categories, and provides a comprehensive summary at the end. Thank you for your attention.
Next, I'll be explaining about the output of program. When we run the program, first it will display the welcome page and the table that show the available spot and the number of athletes needed for each spot. It also displays the qualification form, which user need to fill their personal information to make sure that they qualified to be an athlete. If user match the qualification, the program will display you are qualified and user can proceed to choose the chosen spot. Meanwhile, if user does not match the qualification, it will display you are not qualified. After registration is done, the program will display do you want to make another registration. If user enter Y, the program will display another qualification form for the next participant. Meanwhile, if the user enter N, it will stop registration and display the total list of participants, unqualified participants, also the number of athletes by gender, sport, and school.
In conclusion, by doing this report, we had explored the development and functionality of C++ program to design a coding for our final CSC126 assessment. Through this, the program employs fundamental programming concepts such as loops, conditional statement, switch case structure, and many more to create a registration system for participation in Sukan Malaysia Sukma. We included some features like athletes' application details, qualification of athletes, eligible athletes by gender and school, numbers of athletes, and to total qualified and unqualified athletes. Upon execution, users can register themselves and enforce registration constraint. It provides an immediate feedback if category exceeds its limit, ensuring users are informed of full categories and prompting them to select an alternative or exit once all categories are filled. Through this implementation, the program can demonstrate a practical application that can efficiently manage spot registration, provides clear user feedback, enforce limit, and ensure fair participation distribution. We are confident that through this program, we had achieved our objective and hope that our program benefit others in future use of spot registration.